Welcome everyone to the ARB work session. First project to review is 367 Marshall Avenue, single story building. Any comments from the board?
One comment, it looked like on the back side of the building where the garage doors were, there was a note about windows being optional. And I just hope they put them in. I think that assuming that this is all a spec space, I think that that might be appealing for some tenants, and also just it looks out over Brentwood Park. And I know these windows are way up high and you're not going to see out of them, but just have some sense of character from, that is viewed from the park, I think would be really nice rather than just a blank wall. But that was the only comment I had.
Molly Clement was asking for clarification on the drawings. I saw both thin brick and veneer brick called out, and didn't know if the thin brick was just a what was the veneer brick. Well, that's what they called it on the elevations. The details all seem to show brick veneer, so I'd be more of a fan of brick veneer versus the thin brick, but.
Yeah, I was wondering, kind of in that same vein where we've just got brick stuck on and then it doesn't wrap the corner. It just looks like it's a material that's just stickered on there. So I was wondering if maybe the alcoves become something different, just to give some variation to the facade where it's not just this face is brick, this face is metal panel. Maybe that could create some identity to the different businesses that'll be working out of there. Just think the materiality could be looked at a little bit.
All right. We can discuss Marshall. Next, we have 439 Landscape Court, new construction. Comments from the board?
On that front gable over the garage, I think that it would look nice to move that horizontal band board down to align with the beam on the front porch. That'll give a consistent look to all of those front-facing gables. And also as a suggestion to consider eliminating the shutters. There's an awful lot going on that elevation anyway. That's, it just seems to me that the shutters are a bit much, especially, we got the stone, two types of siding. Yeah, it's a bit much. So I would recommend just foregoing those. And then on the right side elevation, on that side of the garage where it's all just siding, maybe add a window to match the adjacent mudroom window, or perhaps two small windows that are similar to the upper sash of the mudroom window.
I second that recommendation.
Did you discuss the stone on the front at all just now?
I'm sorry?
Did you discuss the stone on the front at all?
No.
Okay. My comment was that if you look at the front entrance, the pilasters on the columns are
Higher.
8 inches higher than the stone next to the garage. And I was wondering if the hierarchy should be where the stone on the pilasters matches the garage, and then the stone on the main house behind it is lower, because you have this like two-tiered thing going on, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, that did catch my eye too, that it adds a lot of motion.
Yeah.
When we've got the motion, and then we've also got a lot of texture from the stone and the shingle siding, and I think it could be simplified.
Yeah, and on the side elevations, it's not clear to me how the stone is wrapping around the corner, if it just ends at that.
It does.
Thanks for the clarification.
I think also on the stone comment, that on the garage porch side, it's missing. So that seemed to be,
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
it would definitely make sense to continue.
Yeah. Was this the house that we reviewed a few weeks ago for the FAR increase? It was the same street and it was landscape
Same
court.
street. I don't think it's the same house though.
Okay, okay,
That was a two-story.
okay. Cause I did go by Blackburn a few weeks ago and did see that it's an active street for construction right now.
All right, we can discuss landscape court. Next, we have 625 Bacon Avenue solar panels. Comments from the board?
I had none.
None for me.
Yep.
None.
I didn't have any comments, so we can move to pre-approve 625 Bacon. And then the last project is 512 Webster Path Court. Comments from the board?
This we saw last meeting and there wasn't a representative from the project. And I just had one question. On the new front door surround, that's the only lap siding that's on the front of the house. And I think, I'm wondering if they considered using like a smooth board material to coordinate better with the adjacent bays.
It makes sense. It'd also be interesting, it would also be interesting in seeing how far that center portico sticks out. What those sidewalls are they paneled? Are they straight? Are they sided? You know, what those look like, because you're gonna see them from an angle.
Good kind of.
Okay. So we, at this point, will pause the work session. The official meeting begins at 5:30. We'll be back online then. Okay, welcome everyone to the Architectural Review Board meeting. We have finished our work session. The official meeting is now underway. Introduce Jim Bailey and Tacoa Bell with the city. We have Jamie Hassmeyer with us, who's our council liaison. In addition, Carol Dunkey and Tracy Collins, David Yates and Mark Vogel, and myself, Bob Buckman, all volunteer architects and landscape architect on the board. First item is review of meeting minutes from July 3rd, and I believe everyone's present except for Angela. So with that, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the July 3rd meeting minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. July 3rd meeting minutes are approved. We have one pre-approval as well. So if you're here for that, once we read your motion, you're free to go. 625 Bacon Avenue. May I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve 625 Bacon Avenue as submitted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, 625 Bacon Avenue is approved. At this point, if we read your project, you're here in person, we would ask that you come up and introduce yourself, and we'll discuss your project. If you're online, to raise your Zoom hand, and Tacoa will add you to the discussion. First project is 367 Marshall Avenue.
Yeah, hi. My name is Tom Auer, and I am the president of Oakline Studio, the architectural firm that is the architect of record for this project.
Hi, Tom. Welcome.
Thank you.
Just a few questions, I think.
Yeah, Tom,
Mark?
yeah, I was looking at A2.0. You may have heard the comment on the work session. I assume this is a spec building.
It's a spec building.
Yeah,
Yes, yes, sir.
there's a note for alternate windows on the backside, and so because it's, you know, they're up high, it's on the north side of the building, you're not get direct sunlight. I would just strongly encourage that be incorporated, that alternate be incorporated into the final. I think it'd be more attractive to prospective tenants, and as well, since it faces Brentwood Park, you know, the views from the park up toward that building. Granted, you know, there may be a lot of trees. I don't know how visible this building is really going to be, but it's kind of a blank wall, you know, with the garage doors. So that was just a suggestion.
And I had a question, on the drawings, there were, it referenced thin brick and veneer brick and didn't know if it was either or a mix or.
Yeah, it's a full modular brick.
Okay.
But actually, I went out shopping for, this is a light colored building, which I really like the aesthetic of this. And I just am not a real fan of blonde brick myself. So I actually brought a sample of what I'm thinking of, if I can just.
Sure.
It's a split face product,
Mhm.
which has the color. We've got some sample metal colors that really tie in really quite nicely. So it'll be a full 4-inch thick masonry unit, not this shape,
Right.
horizontal, but that would be the material
On stud backup.
on that front facade.
Okay.
So it's not a brick?
Sorry,
Is it not a brick or is it?
it's concrete product,
Oh, okay.
concrete block.
Okay.
Yeah,
But then like a, not an 8x16, but a different.
a different module, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at the materials of the building and it looks like that's just kind of put on the front, right?
Yeah, it's on the front facade, right? And then the sides and the back would be that metal, the
Yeah.
insulated metal panel.
I was just wondering, I don't know, I just struggle with the material just kind of stopping on the corner where it just looks like a material that's just applied to the face. And I was wondering if there might be an opportunity to do just kind of accent features at the alcoves maybe, or just at the entry areas to just give some identity to whatever businesses are
Bring that metal
happening there.
back in, yeah.
Maybe. But then I noticed too that the rendering doesn't really match the elevation, and the elevation showing canopies and
Yeah, so,
another material on top of the storefronts.
right. So one of the, and maybe we're aligning here in our ultimate strategy. So the rendering was outsourced some time ago. We just haven't had a chance to update it.
Yeah.
So I think that along the way, the team would like to bring some of that metal, that contrasting color, the
Yep.
darker color. So we saw that going over the windows and doors. We could also look at that as a bigger component on the inside of the alcove as well.
Yeah.
There's a large panel right now over the entrance doors.
Mhm.
So the other difference, and I think it's an enhancement, the entrance doors are now straight on. You know, it's straight on as you enter, as you approach the building.
Instead of-
Before, the doors were kind of oddly off to
Yeah.
the left and right.
Mhm.
And so that improvement was made as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thanks for pointing that out.
Just to clarify, are the canopies going to for sure be included or?
Yes, yeah. It was, you know, it's mostly south facing at that point. I think it'll actually be
Mhm.
functional.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Okay. Any additional comments?
Okay. Okay. I don't think that'll be a problem with the ownership.
All right. I would say, on the windows along the rear, it's some number of them. Like if you could include them as they're drawn, or at least a percentage of them, we could put that in the motion. I guess it gives you the option. Because I think, I'm just thinking out loud here. Just to kind of help break that facade up.
Okay.
Because I agree, I think having something along there would be nice from the exterior and the interior.
Okay.
So, that's really my only comment.
Would, if we, and I agree with that comment, if we do a hard placement on those, show them on the elevation where we actually want them to be. One other change that might go hand in hand with that would be maybe not doing the windows in the overhead doors. The windows up high are less of a security threat for any potential tenants. And looking through those windows are probably going to film them over anyhow in the door.
Yeah,
So it'd be more practical to have the windows up high.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Could put that in the motion.
Okay. Yeah.
If that sounds agreeable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that's it then. With that, I'm gonna ask for a motion from one of my board members.
Trying to figure out-
Colleagues.
Would we have I guess, did we make a decision on the metal panel? Do we want to call out a material change or give an option?
Yeah, for the entry.
Yeah.
What, an option, do you think? Or are you okay with that? Is everybody okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I missed
We
that.
were just kind of discussing on what
Sure.
we could use as clarifications to a motion to kind of get us through this evening. And one thing we're talking about with the metal panel on the front facade,
Yes.
we could offer that as an alternate or a option for you to decide.
Sure.
So you could do it as you have it drawn or include more metal panel to give it some
Yeah,
variation.
I like the idea. I absolutely could agree to that.
Okay.
Okay.
So I will make a motion on 367 to approve with the following clarifications. The windows at the rear elevation will be added above the garage doors and as shown on the elevation. Correct?
With the option to remove the window.
Yeah,
glass
and
from
the windows at the garage doors will be removed. There's an option to reduce the amount of stone concrete unit on the front facade and include metal panel in the alcoves.
I think you want to have the canopies shown on that working drawing.
Yeah, and also want to clarify in the motion that the canopies shown on the hardline drawings will be included in the project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, Tom, you're approved as noted.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good evening. All right, next we have 439 Landscape Court. Anyone present for that project online? All right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Nathan Farrow. I'm with Donna Box Architectural Firm representing Pentrix Development on this project.
Hi, Nathan. Welcome.
Hello.
All right, so I think there was a couple of questions. We can start with whoever would like to talk. Hey.
Hey Nathan, this is Dave. I had one comment, looking at the front elevation of the building of the home. As you approach the front door, there's a difference in height between the column post bases and the garage stone, and wondering if you would all consider either raising the garage stone up to match the line that's front facing to the porch, and keeping the stone behind it at the lower elevation if you do want a two level effect. It just seems sort of unbalanced when you're approaching the front door. And then also, I may be stealing a comment here, but wondering if you would consider returning the stone wainscot around the side of the garage a certain distance, just so that when you approach the house from an angle, you're not going to see just that flat bit of stone at the corner.
Yes, I think in regards to that, we can return the stone all the way since it's not that far. That would make more sense than stopping it.
Yeah.
And I would agree. I think we should, if we're doing that, I think we should lower the stone at the columns so it's in line,
Okay.
since
That
we're
makes-
returning it and we don't have an opportunity to break the two up.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And also, another comment was that the stone as it turns around toward the porch also isn't shown on that elevation of the porch, which would be, if that would return all the way to the.
Yes, I heard that in your work session and I already made note of that.
Okay.
Correct. Yep.
Great. Thank you.
No problem.
All right, and then I think Carol, you had a comment.
We're looking at the front gable over the garage, moving the horizontal band board down to align with the beam on the front porch would make those three front-facing gables look more consistent. I think that would be a nice improvement instead of having the kind of the up and down effect that we have now.
I was having a hard time hearing her. I think her mic may have been muted, but I think she's asking to lower the trim board in the gable above the garage.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Here I
That's
am.
okay.
Boy, am I loud. Okay, yeah, let me repeat myself. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Yeah, if that horizontal trim board that's on the gable at the garage, if that could be lowered to align with the beam that's at the front porch, that would give a consistent look to all three of those front-facing gables. Would you be open to that?
Yes, I think that's perfectly fine.
Okay. And then also too, because we do have a lot of materials and textures going on the front elevation, I just wondered if you might consider eliminating the shutters just to kind of simplify things.
I think that's a possibility. Yes.
Okay. And then when we move over to the right elevation, we have a long expanse of siding that's uninterrupted there on that garage, the side of the garage. And I think it would be helpful to add a window into the garage, maybe one that matches the mudroom window, or do two small windows that match the upper sash of that mudroom window, just to get some natural light into the garage and then, break up that elevation a bit.
Okay. I think I'd like to just see us copy that window from the mudroom over into the garage if everyone's okay with that.
Yeah, I think that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and those are my comments.
All right, anyone else? All right. I think with that, Nathan, we can create a motion clarifying the stone and windows and the trim. Carol?
Okay, here we go.
I could try.
Everybody check your list to
Yeah.
make sure that I'm getting everything on here. I'll make a motion to approve 439 Landscape Court with the following understandings. That the stone at the columns, the front columns, will be lowered to align to match the stone at the garage. The stone will be returned around the sides of the house and will be returned along the side of the garage adjacent to the front door. The horizontal band board over the front garage gable will be lowered to align with the front porch beam. There's an option to eliminate the shutters from the front elevation, And on the right side elevation, a window will be added into the garage to match the adjacent mudroom window.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, Nathan, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and then we have 512 Webster Path Court. Good evening.
Hey, I'm Connor and I'm with Wise Brothers Contract.
Welcome, Connor.
Sorry for not being here last week or 2 weeks ago.
No worries. I think one question really,
Yeah. I think the project looks very nice, and I just had one item to review with you. At your new front door surround, there's horizontal lap siding shown there.
Yes,
And that's the only lap siding on the front elevation.
yes, and I do agree with you. And we have since made that revision internally, and we are gonna just kind of box the entire thing out. That would be finished with smooth James Hardy siding on the
Okay,
inside. And we've actually had to revise the front door selection as well. It's shown as an arch top door, and we don't have the ceiling height. Most come in 8 foot, and we don't have 8 foot with the header that has to go in. So we're doing an arched panel on the door, but it'll be a squared door, which I think will actually end up looking better with how everything else is square in there.
okay, I'm not quite sure I followed.
Um,
Do you want to draw it?
here, I can show you.
Above the.
yeah, yeah.
I have a rendering. So it would just be like an arch top panel door.
Oh, okay.
Solid.
Okay, so the door, it'll be a solid panel door, but the top panel will be arched. Okay, okay,
That's where the client planned it.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of having glass
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the center, it would just be an arch.
Yeah.
Style door.
Okay.
I think Dave had a question about how the sides
Yeah.
of the new entryway are finished.
The new entryway, the sides that are boxed out that on the front elevation have the tall panel and the small panel. Would the sides be paneled as well?
They would match,
Okay,
correct?
okay,
Yes.
great. Thank you.
And I think it comes out like not even 4 foot.
Yeah,
It's going
yeah.
to match the depth of the bays
Yeah.
is our intention.
Yep. Cool.
And then what's the material of the railing on the deck above?
Aluminum.
Aluminum, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I
well,
don't have any other comments.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think that covers it. So, David, do you want to read the motion?
Sure. I make a motion to approve 512 Webster Path Court with the following clarifications. That the door will be changed to match the image shown to us at the meeting. That the siding on the back of the new porch will be eliminated and made into a flat panel to match the rest of the porch, and that the sides and inside, the outside sides and the inside sides of the bump out will be paneled to match the front.
Correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? All right, Connor, you're approved as noted. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Have a good evening.
You too. And with that, we adjourn. Thank you all.